Thanks for joining our video today. We are so excited to have you here. We wanted to give some Kip's tips. For the Covenant family. We have so much advice to give. We're already sharing this advice with them, so we wanted to invite you, our Covenant family and friends, along with us. Today, we're going to talk about first-time home buyers. Kip has worked with a bunch, including me. Thank you.
One of my favorite talkers.
It's so great. He just tells you the whole process and really walked us through it. For me, it was wonderful, so I appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to talk about buying versus renting, what credit score you need to have, down payment, what's a good down payment to put on the house, and different mortgage options for special things. Buying versus renting.
Well, it's really manifold. There's a ton of advantages, Jennifer. I think one that first comes to mind is the tax advantage. I mean, if you're leasing or renting, number one, think about it. You are making a payment to an owner, whether it's an owner of an apartment complex, a developer, or an owner of a home. And then they're taking a tax advantage. They get to write off that payment. No such thing. A bummer. So if you go buy a house, think about this, and you get a mortgage and your payment's roughly $1,600 a month, and it's on a 30-year note, most of that payment will be a write-off on your income. So if your income's $80,000 a year, you get to write off almost $20,000 based on that tax write-off, which brings your taxable income down to $60,000. Woohoo! Don't have to pay as much money to the IRS, and you're accruing equity. And that's the other thing about this, is you're accruing the equity. Think about this. We just know for a fact that homes go up in value. I mean, and the chart might look more like this, kind of but it always is going to go up over time. Like it's your neighborhood you just moved into, for example. You, by buying, get that equity, or we call appreciation. So you're making a payment. And part of that payment is paying the principal balance of the loan off. You're getting some equity that way. But man, you're getting a ton of equity from the appreciation. And you get into a good market like Dallas, where we're going to triple our population just in Collin County alone. How can you go wrong buying a house, man? You can't. Especially if you stay for any decent period of time, 5 years, 7, 10, 15, 20, you are going to make a bunch of money when you sell that home, when you pay off that home, if you stay long enough. You know, a lot of people do buy a home and stay in it for their entire lifetime, and until they have to sell it. The home will most likely be your number one asset. What a great time and place to be buying and investing in your number one asset. You can't go wrong. In this economy, in this great state of Texas, it's still a great market, and you're going to get a ton of appreciation over time. So a tax benefit, all right, and appreciation. Super duper. Why would you want to give that to the landlord? Because if you're renting or leasing, you're giving the landlord the appreciation and the tax benefit. And for
plus
what?
Some, so they can pay for
Well, yeah, but exactly. But for what? For them to fix your something that breaks, get an HOW, homeowner's warranty, and it will pay for most of those big things. If you go to the right real estate agency and get the right realtor
here's the right one.
About this, the security of just owning your home. Yeah. No one's gonna take your home from you. You know, when you're leasing a home, they can decide at the end of your term, golly, we decided we don't want to lease anymore, we're gonna sell it. So there's always some type of risk there, and you eliminate that risk. You have security of ownership.
Okay, I love that. Thanks. And what about, talk to us about credit scores. What kind of credit score do you have to have? What happens if you have a low one? Right when you're buying a home, how can you get your credit score up? And
great question. And boy, man, that's such an important question, you know. One thing I'd recommend is look at your credit score now. If you're in that kind of mindset that, oh man, I'd like to buy a house, or we'd like to buy a house, first thing you ought to do is go pull your credit score. You can use like a Credit Karma to find out and get an idea of where it sits. Anything above a 580, which is financeable, could stand improvement. And you'd really be surprised at how easy it is to improve your credit score. I've got a lender that I work with in many cases, and he has improved credit scores from the mid 600s to the high 700s, from the high 500s to the high 600s in a matter of 30 or 40 days. A lot of times it's just a matter of paying some debt off and getting that kind of balance properly. So that's real important, though. Obviously, the credit score is extremely important because it dictates the interest rate. And right now, we're in a super time to be buying homes because we have low interest rates, which actually appear to be getting lower. So highly recommend that if you're looking at buying a home, the earlier you can engage in the process of working on the credit score, the better off you'll be.
Awesome, because you always want a better credit score for everything.
Sure.
Doesn't hurt to call Kip and him point you in the right direction and get you hooked up with the right people so you can, worst case scenario, walk out with a better credit score and know what you're going to do for later. I love that. Awesome. And so what about a down payment?
Great questions again, Jennifer. I love these questions. You know, it's really interesting because we're in a good market right now in terms of the economy and credit worthiness, etc. You can get in as a first-time home buyer for as low as 3%. So it really depends on kind of where you're at. But the fact that you can get in at 3% is awesome. Now, one thing I love to see my clients do that are working with some of my lenders is going on a 30-year mortgage, okay, but have no prepayment penalty. So you can go with a 3% down payment, finance it over 30 years, and have no prepayment penalty and begin to pay it like it's a 15-year mortgage if you have the extra capacity to do so. If for some reason you hit a rough spot financially, somebody loses a job or changes careers, worst case, and then resume that 30-year pace as soon as you have the cash flow to do so.
That's right. Oh, and we have a VIP. We have a VIP guest today. Okay.
Our broker,
Valerie, you have to
Valerie.
come in here.
31
Y'all,
years, 3 decades.
this is the Big
of
Kahuna
brokering.
mortgage
All right,
options,
I'm
you
glad to
guys.
give up my seat.
Valerie, thanks so much. This is the Big Kahuna in a tiny package. Okay, she's fun sized, y'all.
Hi.
Thanks, Val.
There's a big difference in our height here, even when we're sitting. Hi, everybody.
We are talking, we're giving first-time home buyers tips,
That's right.
and we wanted to talk about special mortgage options, and she just happened to walk in. It's everything
Very
happens
good
for a
timing.
reason.
I just got back.
So what are some special mortgage options for first-time home buyers?
Well, one of the things that all of you need to know is that first-time home buyers have grants. Different cities will give them special grants, and this will save them a lot of money. Their down payment assistance that they will get from a city, for example, Garland, Plano, depending on the time of year. That's one option. Also, teachers have special down payment and financing options available.
We
So
love our
there's
teachers.
great-
Valerie was a
I
teacher.
was a
She's still
teacher.
teaching us now.
I taught mathematics for several years, but I've enjoyed it, and I love the kids, and I love first-time home buyers. They're just so appreciative, and that's what gives me a lot of love in what I do. There's even, I understand, according to Jennifer, that there are single mom programs available. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff for you first-time home buyers, and even for people who are maybe looking at purchasing a house for the second or third time. There's still programs available out there for you. We'd love to help you. Give us a call.